guys, welcome back. New Monday, new week. Woohoo! A couple of things. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Andre. It was nice to see you online doing some work. I want to give a shout out to Desi and Versace and Cartimus for showing up at our Canvas course, and Carlito. I really appreciate that. And I also really appreciate everybody who started doing a whole bunch of work when parents got progress reports. So thank you. I know it's hard to make your brain be happy with being home and having like not really the structure that we used to have. I know some people are like, I stay up really late and I get up really late in the day. We don't have the normal school routine. So I really appreciate those of you that are putting in the effort and trying to carve out a little bit of time to do work for me on our Canvas course. I'm trying to make it pretty short, so I appreciate that. I know it's a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. We have staff meetings still. Getting up at 9. It's 9 o'clock. It's not even as early as I used to wake up. You know, we were at school by then. But getting up and having a 9 o'clock meeting for me now with this work from home schedule is also really difficult. So I feel you. Just carve out an hour and a half should be more than enough time to do what I'm asking you to do every day. Probably actually too much time. So with that being said, next, I also want to go and try to increase our video watching ship. So please tell your friends about this if you're like, I'm not sure they're watching the videos. I want to try to get you guys more engaged in the videos because that's where the learning comes from. I'm seeing students who are just doing the work and I know you're not watching the videos because your answers are wrong. So please, please, please make sure you're watching the videos. And if you're not sure if your friends are, say, hey, did you hear about Mrs. Kat's new contest? Watch Monday's video. So here's the deal. I'm going to go and every video, I'm going to put a mystery word or phrase or thing that you have to do in order to get an entry into the drawing. And then I'm going to accumulate all those entries, just like our Cougar Paws we used to do. I'm going to put them in a basket, and Sunday I'm going to draw out and have a winner. And you're going to get something mailed to your home as a winner. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Something you want to have, not just like, you know, another postcard from Mrs. Cat. Although you better be wanting those postcards. Telling you. No, I'll put something in the mail for you so you can have bragging rights. You can share online with your friends. You can, I don't know, do something with it, use it. Anyway, I really just want to get people to make sure that you're watching the videos. So please, please, please share the love. Tell your friends, hey, don't forget to watch Mrs. Cat's video if you want to win the prize. Because it might even be a 2-for-1. It might be you and a friend. But if your friend didn't enter, your friend can't win. See what I did there? Always thinking that Mrs. Cat. All right, today we're going back blast from our past. This is math that's going to make your parents uncomfortable because it's math that is not how we learned how to do math. So we're looking at division, which we learned how to divide, but we're doing it a little bit differently. We're doing the expanded notation. Today and one more day is the only day you have to do it if you really don't like doing it, but I do want to see that you understand the strategy and you have the skill. So for today and the next time that we do this, when I tell you have to do it, I want to see expanded notation division. I'll review what that means right here and show you how to do it again because I know your brain is not there right now. But we're going to be doing that at least twice, and then after that, you know my rule. Use what works, and as long as you're getting the right answer, it's fine by me. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into today's lesson. Bye. All right, you guys, division using expanded notation. So I was really uncomfortable with this when I first learned it because it's never how I learned how to do math. If your parents are trying to help you, I'm sure they feel the same sense of uncomfortableness too, because it's not how we learned how to do math. I literally had to teach myself how to do it when I had to go teach students how to do it so I could understand the process. So instead of thinking digit by digit where you put a number into each number, this is trying to put the biggest number you can into the value that we're dividing. So let's go ahead and set it up. 3822 being divided by 7. Now, if you are a person who doesn't keep very tidy in your math, something that you may want to do is simply turn your math sideways and then use the lines to keep yourself organized. Division really does depend on you to be tidy in your math because when you don't subtract correctly, because numbers aren't lined up, also because we're going to be shifting into decimals in a couple more lessons and you need to put the decimal in the right place. So if
tidiness is a problem with you when it comes to division, you could use the lines of your paper, like grid paper, to keep yourself organized and keep the numbers going in the right spot. Because where you put numbers is actually important when it comes to division. So, quick tip for you, because I'm your teacher and that's what I do. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the 7, and I'm trying to put 7 into 3,822. So, I can't put 7 into 3 because it's too small. So I'm going to look at the 3,800 aspect of this. And I know some facts. I know that if I add a 0 to whatever I'm multiplying by, my answer increases by 10. If I add 2 zeros to whatever I'm multiplying by, my answer increases by 100. What I mean by that is like 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 10, though, is 70. And 7 times 100 is 700. So if I keep this in mind that I can increase these zeros, which increases the value of my number, that is basically the process of expanded notation. So I'm going to come here to my 7s on my multiplication chart, if I don't have my math facts cemented, and I'm going to go across until I can get as close as I can to 38 without going over. The closest I can get is 5 times 7, which gives me 35. So I'm going to put my 5 right here, and that would give me 35, but I'm not putting it into 38. I'm putting it into 3,822. So thinking about my facts of 7 times 5 gives me 35, but 7 times 50 gives me 350, and 7 times 500 gives me 3,500. 7 times 5,000 would give me 35,000, which is too big, right? Because I've got 3,800. So I can use 500 to put into my 3,822. So not 5, but 500. This is the expanded part of expanded notation. So I get 3,500 underneath, and now I subtract the entire number. You still have to subtract from ones first, going over to the left. If you subtract backwards when you have bigger values on top, you're going to end up making mistakes. So please make sure you're always moving left to right, or right to left when you subtract ones to the bigger values. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 5 gives us 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. I don't usually put a 0 up here because it gets sloppy. I know that 3 minus 3 is nothing, so I don't need to record it. Now I'm going to try to put the biggest number I can of 7 into 322. The biggest number times 7 into 322. Well, going back to my chart, I can't use 3 because, again, it's too small, but 32 I can use to get close. So going down my 7s till I get to 32. Oh, 35 is too big, so 28, so that's 4. So 7 times 4, oops, that's not a 4. 4 is 28. 7 times 40 is 280. 40. 7 times 400 would be 2,800. That's too big, right? So I want to use 40 because I can get close to 280. It's the biggest number I can put in 7s to get to 322. So on top, I'm going to put in 40. Notice my 1s are lining up, my 10s, my 100s. 280. See, this is why you have to subtract correctly. I get 42. So then I go again to my multiplication chart. How many 7s can go into 42? Well, 6 of them. And multiply, subtract, there's nothing left over when I do that. So the question is, what's the answer? Well, the answer is right here. The answer is 500 plus 40 plus 6. So that means this missing side is 546. Okay. Now, again, this is engaging all of the numbers in the problem, not digit by digit, which is where you only look at one set or two sets of numbers at a time. We're looking at the whole number when we're doing this. Let's practice another one. So I've got 3372 being divided by 4. Now, again, it's important to remember the order of things. The first number goes inside, the second number goes outside. Don't think of it as the biggest number, because when we divide with decimals, sometimes we actually are dividing a smaller number by a bigger number. So that rule that you learned at one point is not always true. So it's the first number goes inside and the second number goes outside. And that is always true. So 3372 being divided by 4. So I'm trying to put 4 into 3,372, and I want to put the biggest 4 I can put. Just like we knew our rules of 7, that if I multiply by number and increase it with zeros, that I can increase the number as well without changing these values here. So I want to get the biggest 4 I can into 3372. I can't put 4 into 3, so I'm going to look at 33. How many 4s can I fit into 33? Well, 4 can go to 33 8 times for 32 without going over. So I want to put it in 8, but I'm not dividing 33. I'm dividing 3,372. So I'm not going to just put in 8 or 80, but 800, because 4 times 800 is our 32 with 2 zeros attached. All right. So let's go ahead and multiply that, 3,200. Now I'm going to subtract. Now I have 172. So I can't put it into 1 because it's too small. 17. How close can I get to 17 using a 4? Well, 4 times 4 gives me 16. So 4 times 4 gives me 16, but I'm not putting it into 17. I'm putting it into 172. So 4 times 40 gives me 160. That extra 0 gives me that extra 0. So 40 times 4 will give me 160. And now I have 12 left. How many 4s can go into 12? 3. There we go. All right, you stayed with me to the end. Good job. We are going to do the math lessons. Practice is going to be on expanded notation. Oh, we didn't finish. Sorry. What is the answer here? Well, 800 plus 40 plus 3. So 843. To get an entry into our Sunday drawing, and that is Sunday, May 10th, you need to email me or send me a photo or however you want to do it. But I need some sort of nurse appreciation for our nurse Sierra Rambow. You can send me a picture. You can draw a picture and put her name on it and take a picture and have your parents text me or email it to me. You can just write a nice email, sign your name. You could do it more than once. So you could send an email and draw a picture or take a photo with you holding a sign saying something like, "We appreciate you," or "I appreciate you." Every entry you do will be an entry into the drawing. So if you do 5 of them, you just got 5 entries into our Sunday drawing. And that drawing will be something fabulous that you can use at home today for yourself. And it'll be a real thing that people want. There you go. So please make sure if you know your friends aren't watching to tell them, "Hey, watch videos, there's a contest going," or whatever, because sometimes there'll be a 2-for-1. If your friend doesn't apply, they can't win with you, because I won't let you choose a friend that did not participate. All right. So please go ahead and do that, guys. And, I'm sorry. Today's lesson will be page 148, I believe. Problems 1 through 6. 1 through 6. And I'll go ahead and post it like I usually do. All right, guys. Bye.